Political scientists say the main opposition MDC alliance led by Nelson Chamisa has no choice but to rebrand and change its name ahead of the 26 March by-elections and the crucial general elections next year. They also warned that MDCT leader Douglas Munzora, who this week announced his party would be contesting under the MDC alliance banner, risks sinking into political oblivion after joining hands with ZANU-PF and President Emmerson Mnangagwa to dismantle the opposition. Munzora also moved to stop other opposition parties from using the MDC name. In a letter to the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, ZEC, early this week, Munzora declared himself leader of the MDC alliance. Munzora told ZEC that only he and 3 other officials of his MDCT party could confirm candidates on behalf of the MDC, any of its derivatives in the MDC alliance ahead of the by-elections. The move appears aimed at upending Zimbabwe's main opposition party, the MDC alliance, which is seeking to regain seats it lost when Munzora recalled its elected officials, ironically accusing them of joining a rival party, the MDC alliance. Candidates for the various political parties contesting in 28 parliamentary seats and 105 council seats will be confirmed during the sitting of the nomination court on 26 January. University of Zimbabwe political scientist Professor Eldred Masanungir says Chamisa and the MDC alliance have one option: to rebrand or rename the party to avoid confusing the electorate. He said the legal route was a non-starter, given that the courts are captured. Masanungir described Munzora as a chief bull in the opposition that wants everything to himself just to spite others. If Chamisa wants to appear inconsistent, he would take the legal route where he knows that the judiciary has been captured, as what happened in the past, Masanungir said. But if he wants to be consistent that the judiciary has been captured apparently by the state and ZANU-PF, then he needs to rebrand, rename or relabel the party, because the name MDC has become so toxic and will cause confusion. That confusion is what Munzora wants to perpetuate, so that in the end the biggest loser will be Chamisa. As I see it, Munzora has nothing to lose, Masanungir said. He continued, the renaming of the party has to be done not in future, but now as a matter of urgency. Although it is a hard decision, Chamisa has to make that decision. He has the numbers, the charisma is there, and the leadership. For as long as the name MDC still exists, there will be confusion among voters. Yes, there is an emotional attachment to the name MDC, but also there has to be a rational response. By the way, what's in a name? Munzora's party cannot be known by every other name, as if he a chief bull in the opposition, he said. Political analyst Dr. Ibo Mandaza said opposition forces were bigger than the name MDC, before pointing out that the by-election will end Munzora's political career in an instant. It's both insane and obscene, to say the least. It is gutter politics, desperate politics, and it's the end of his political career. He has buried himself in ignominy. I really think it's about voters. Zimbabweans are smart, they know who to vote for. As for Chamisa, it will be less voting for him than against. What I mean is voting against can take two folds: you can vote for somebody else than Munzora. To quote from Dr. Simon Musenda, you can vote for a donkey than Munzora. Opposition forces are bigger than the name MDC, and the history of voting in Africa shows that it is a vote against the incumbent. In 2008, I said this to Morgan Tsvangirai that Robert Mugabe lost by a landslide, and he said no, I won by a landslide. So the history of voting is usually against the incumbent and a vote for the newcomer, Mandaza said. He continued, it is always a vote against the incumbent. If you look at 1980, it was a vote against Smith and Muzorewa. In 2000, 2005, 2008 and 2013. It was a vote against the incumbent. This time again it will be against a person who the people see as a sellout, and this is what is going to happen to Mwinzara, and it is a matter of weeks before we see this. Mwinzara is going to be history, and it is doubtful that the military will assist him this time.